All right, here we have another way that we can solve division. This is not long division. Instead, we're going to use the area model to solve. Some of you might choose to use this method. This is fourth grade math. And if any of my students are on, hey, it's Dr. Wright. Take your time. You have the ability to stop, rewind, and slow it down. Now let's get to it before my baby wakes up. All right. Step one, we want to break down 1,234 into expanded form. Okay, what that means is this number up here, we're going to break it down and put it into this nice box. The first number, 1, is in the thousands place. So therefore, the expanded form is 1,000. 2 is in the hundreds place, so the expanded form is 200. 3 is in the tens place, so the expanded form is 30. And 4 is in the ones place, making it just simply 4. The 13 is going to come over here to the left, and now we are ready to begin. All right. First things first, we say how many times does 13 go into 1,000? Yeah, that's kind of big. And there's a lot of guessing involved in this one, but part of it requires you to really think hard. We know that 13 times 10 is 130. All right. And we're trying to get all the way to 1,000. So we know it's going to be a really big number. Now, I already know that number, so I'm going to save us the time. I know that 13 times 70 is going to give me 910. Now, we want to get close to the 1,000. If I were to use 75, we would be closer than if I use 70. But it does not matter which number you use. You just want to use a number that's close to 1,000 and that's easy. And a number that ends in zero, I prefer to use that. So that's why I'm not going to do 13 times 75. Instead, I'm just going to leave it with a zero at the end. And you'll see why at the end that it still works out to the same thing. Doesn't matter. So let's do. We're going to put the 70. So I'm saying that 13 goes into 1,070 times. So 13 times 70 is 910. So you have to put that 910 and subtract. Hey, it's the same rules. Divide, multiply, subtract. Here we don't really have to bring down, but we do bring over, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm subtracting, and I know that the answer I'm going to get is 90. That's my remainder. What do? You take what is left from the box and move it over to the next box. So you got to move this 90 over here, and then that number is no longer going to be 200. Instead, your number is going to be 290 because you have to include what was in the previous box. So now you're asking yourself, 13 times what will give me 290? Now, I already know the answer is 20. You would probably have had to work that out, right? 13 times 20 equals 260. And I knew mental math to solve that because 13 times 2 is 26. 13 times 2 is 26. And then you just add the 0. That comes pretty close to 290. So I know that my answer up here is going to be 20. And then you multiply. If there was an L frame, you would multiply 20 times 13 is 260. And when you subtract this, you're going to get 30. And what do you do with that 30? You got to move it to the next space. So this 30 gets added to here. And 30 plus 30 gives you what answer? Yes, 30 plus 30 will give you 60 is what I'm hoping you said. So now I say, how many times does 13 go into 60? Again, I know the answer, so I'm not even going to waste time and write it. I know 13 goes into 60 3 times, and then 13 times 3 equals 39. And when I subtract, I'm going to get the answer 21. And then I do the same thing again. I've got to use what was left over and bring it to the last one. Oops, let's fix that. I use what's left over and I bring it. Sorry, guys, I got a new pen and it is absolutely interesting. All right. So again, bring what's left over to here. So 21 plus 4 is what? You should have said 25. You put your 25 down right here and you say, how many times does 13 go into 25? It goes into 25 one time, and 13 times 1 is 13. And then you subtract, and then you get the answer 12. So this is what your answer is going to be. You're going to add these up. And I know if I was a parent watching this, I would be like, what in the world? Yes, it takes practice and it's a lot. 70 plus 20 is 90, plus 3 is 93, plus 1 is 94. So your answer is 94 with, don't forget this little guy down here, a remainder of 12. Again, rewatch it if you need to. It does take practice.